crazy, hate, this, flesh, I go, hate, cray, me, hate, I hate me. I hate me. This flesh wants to kill me. This flesh says yes to him. Him who said he loved me. Him who said trust me. Him who said I could trust him. This flesh said yes to them. 2 men I share this flesh. I was created in this flesh. I was created to say no to this flesh and yes to the spirit. It's no to the flesh and yes to the spirit, but then it's no to the spirit, but yes to the flesh, and it's no to the spirit, but yes to the flesh, because the flesh feels good. His touch feels good. His lips feel good. His flesh feels good. This flesh is silent but deadly. This flesh equals death. My flesh is for my husband. My flesh is a temple for him. My flesh belongs to him. Him whose flesh was ripped and marred and torn and hung up for me. Me who gave into this flesh and I give in the faith that he hung over. This walk for righteousness is hard because I live in this flesh. I hate this flesh because it hurts him. Him who gave me life. This flesh wants to take it. So I cry and I beg and I plead and I say, what do I do? Father, help me. The Creator, heal me. Please take away this flesh. The next piece I'm going to do for you is titled, His Last Breath. Ilahi! Ilahi! Lama sabachthani. My God. My God, why have you forsaken me? You are involuntarily going back in history to open your eyes and visually see the events that led to Calvary. I apologize in advance for right here in my stance. I'm here to deliver a message that will not amuse or entertain the thought that poetry is fun and games, because I know I'm up here spitting and rhyming. I sound all fucking fresh and I'm shining, but now I'm trying to be like Simon and say something that's really going to penetrate your soul as well as bring you close and personal, up on that level in which Christ was raised and what he endured before he saw the grave. Right now, let's skip fast forward to the trial in which Jesus was found guilty of this thing called blasphemy. But something that's really interesting is that not only did many testify falsely, but none of their testimonies seem to agree. We are told this in Mark 14:56. Even in the midst of all this ignorance, Jesus was still sentenced. And not only that, during the presentation of the so-called facts, the guards beat, slapped his back to one man and they returned his back on us. Now you know I'm going to pull this full circle, because a lot of this still occurs in this ungodly world. People each and every day spit, smack, and slap Jesus Christ in the face with their double-mindedness and their wicked ways, just as the Romans did back in that day. But back to the subject at hand, I want you to see as well as comprehend the physical suffering and beating that took place. In hopes with the description, this undeserving race will open their X-Files and examine that case of sin versus repentance. I want you to see each and every mark that touched his body. In Mark 15:15, Pilate began the flogging in which a victim was tied to a post, leaving his back entirely exposed, legs spread as well as the hands. The whips consisted of small bones and metal attached to leather strands. The skin was ripped from the back. Are you hearing me? I'm just stating the facts. Do you get the picture? In the book of Isaiah, his appearance was so disfigured. I hope you're understanding this. His form was marred beyond human likeness. Maybe you didn't hear me, so I'll repeat it. His form was marred beyond human likeness, meaning that during the flogging, he was whipped repeatedly so much that his form did not resemble that of a human being. Meaning that during the flogging, he was whipped repeatedly so much that his form did not resemble that of a human being. I know what you're sitting there thinking, come on, is all this really necessary? Well, hey, obviously it is, because the way this world deliberately sins, Jesus is constantly being pulled back in for another round of flogging, and the same can be said, for the crown of thorns that was driven into his head, or how about the part where he carried the cross in estimated 650 yards? No, still not ringing a bell? Well, how about the 7-inch nail that was driven into his wrist and his feet, causing his knees to be beaten rotated laterally? In Psalm 22, chapter 14 and 15, Christ actually describes what he's feeling, the feeling that his bones were out of joint. I really hope you see my point. He endured all this that we can die to sin, so all the homos, liars, and thieves, adulterers, rapists, and all the hypocrisy can live again through Christ's suffering. I mean, speak very bluntly, this ungrateful world will never see how much blood he shed and lost, and how each time we sin, we put him back on that cross. I just wanted to share the image that constantly replays inside my head anytime I even think about sinning, because I can't stand the thought of those metal leather strands and knowing I'm the cause of his blood on my hands. I just wanted to share the image that constantly replays inside my head anytime I even think about sinning, because I can't stand the thought of those metal leather strands and knowing I'm the cause of his blood on my hands. No sin is worth killing him again. No sin is worth killing him again. No sin is worth killing him again. So therefore, as Christians, you must understand that Christ's life is in your hands. It is up to you to make the decision. It's up to you to take that step. I mean, come on, really think about it. This man put his life on the line for me, and the least I could do is live sin-free and receive the promise of life eternally, because I can guarantee that sin equals death. And I refuse to be the cause of his last breath. Woo!